So this is a Python-based DAX formatter that I wrote last night. And in order to show you just how well it works, what I've gone ahead and done is write one of the worst formatted DAX measures I could come up with. And then just for you guys, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hit this run button right here to create the measure. And then this run button right here to execute it. And we're going to sit here and we're going to watch it run, and you're going to see it loop through every single measure, checking them for formatting, and then updating them. As you can see, here it is. Awful date measure was updated. And just to show you how well it works, here is our beautifully formatted date measure that came after our Python script ran. And here is that awful original one without any spacing and any of the correct indentation. So how did that notebook just beautifully format that DAX in seconds? Well, in this video, I'm going to be breaking it down for you step by step. So if you want to learn how this function is working and all of the different components, stay tuned because that's exactly what we're about to do. All right, so here we are in the notebook in question. And this is a notebook that I wrote for Microsoft Power BI's notebook competition, which is a competition that they're running trying to see who can come up with the most creative and interesting use cases for notebooks. And I knew that I wanted to build a utility. I didn't want to build out a data analysis that would be unique to only me. I wanted to build something that anyone could take and anyone could use. So a DAX formatter seemed pretty obvious, frankly. Now, I, however, am no DAX formatting expert, but do you want to know who is? Marco Russo and the people behind DAXformatting.com. And luckily for me, they have an API. So, what is this notebook doing? Well, it has a method right here. And then within that method, there's a method called format DAX. And this format DAX is taking a DAX expression as a string and it's returning out a formatted string. And it's doing that by submitting a request to daxformatter.com to format the DAX that was passed in. And then it's using beautiful soup to pull out the returned formatted DAX into a string. And if there is an exception, it's giving me an error message saying error, failing to format DAX. The next piece of the bigger method, so not just the format DAX piece, but rather the format and update all measures method, is it's taking a workspace and a data set. Now, that workspace and that data set is being used by Semantic Link to go ahead and connect to the model in question. And then for every single table and then every single measure within that table, submit it to the format DAX expression. Now, if it's returning an error, right, it's returning a none, and then we're printing the skipped measure name in this table that it could not be formatted, right? However, if it is returning a formatted expression that's different than the original expression, then it's using that same connection that's open to the semantic model via Semantic Link Labs. And I think I said Semantic Link, but Semantic Link Labs earlier to update the measure's definition to the new expression and then printing out, hey, I updated that measure. And then finally, if there is no difference between the formatted measure and the unformatted measure it's returning, that's okay. The measure is already formatted. And then finally down here, I'm just calling it. So this is a really, really simple Microsoft Fabric notebook that shows just how powerful they are. Something like formatting DAX is something that I would never typically have time for, but with a script like this, I can do it in just seconds. So if you enjoyed this quick, short, to the point video, please subscribe. And by the way, this notebook is linked on my GitHub down in the video description. So if you want to download it, feel free. And also I'm going to be submitting it for the Microsoft Power BI competition. So it'll be available there too in the Fabric Notebook Gallery. All right. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up and subscribe.